Welcome to Talk Around Riyadh, the Wheel of Time showcast. I am your host, Joe Perry, here with my co-hosts, Jen Isgro and Tom Kokoza. How you doing tonight, Jen?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Thursday. I have a big weekend ahead of me. My brother's getting married, my little baby brother. So we got a rehearsal dinner tomorrow, wedding on Saturday, whole bunch of exciting stuff coming up.
By the way, just because you said it, your baby brother, by the way, your
Yeah.
baby brother looks older than you, Jen. Time
Well,
has not been kind to
what do
Alex.
you that's not very nice. What does that mean? Why, because he has no hair?
That he's
Yeah,
got
he's
gray. He's
bald
also
and
got like a
he's bald and
graying
gray.
beard,
So does
and
everybody.
yeah, but he
Yeah, but
looks.
he's much younger than us.
He's not
Yeah,
that much.
he's like
He's like
what? He's like
33.
22.
He's 33.
he's almost 10 years younger
He's
than me,
8 years
Jen.
younger than me.
He looks older than me, or about the same age as
Come
me.
on.
I'm sorry, Alex. I don't mean to. If you're
I don't think
listening,
he's gonna
Alex,
hear this. I'm pretty sure he's not gonna hear this.
when I saw him at your daughter's communion,
People don't hear us.
I had a double take.
Oh no.
They don't hear you, Tom.
Hetzke said he doesn't hear
Is
us.
anyone talking yet? Oh, that's just him, but everybody else said they could hear us. Okay.
Okay, it's
sorry.
Hedsky. Sorry. Maybe
What were you
log-
saying?
maybe
What were you
log
saying?
him out. Thanks, Ro. Um, yeah. When I saw him at your daughter's communion earlier this year, I was like, whoa. I was taken aback. I guess because we hadn't seen him. Tom and
I
I were
haven't
talking
seen him in a long time. He
since
probably
we
lost
played
more hair and went gray.
since we played softball. Maybe
Yeah, that was probably like 7 years ago.
that was yeah, about
8 years
7,
ago?
8 years
Yeah.
because I moved 6 years ago, so it was like that. It was right before I moved.
Wow.
Probably is the last time I
Okay.
saw him.
So he was like in his late 20s last time you saw him.
Yes, but
And
congratulations.
wasn't married with a kid already. Almost married with a kid.
All right, so that
I
was
do
good.
like that you turned into Keanu Reeves when you saw him, though.
Yeah, I was like,
Whoa.
You're
whoa.
like, whoa.
All right. We've got a lot to talk about. We've actually got some. Oh, Tom, I'm sorry. How are you doing tonight? We went
No,
off
it's
on a
fine.
tangent
Fine.
about Jen's brother. So
It's fine. I see how it is. If you may, if you will indulge me for a moment, I have something rather pointless to discuss. And this is very much I think it's considered a first world problem. I came home from work today, and we have people who do my lawn because I don't do it that often, and my neighbors get mad at me, so I pay someone to do it. So they take care of the landscaping in the house. So I came home, and they had put lime down on the grass, and that is the end of summer. Really, all the unofficial ends of summer or whatever, when the long guys come and say, okay, we're getting your house ready for the fall, like, and that got me really depressed.
okay, not me, but
What happens when you put lime on it?
That's like the end. That's like they're getting it ready for
to be honest, I've used lime early in the season because when it's very damp and
They do-
moist, you could get some like mushrooms and fungus growing. So you put lime down to adjust the pH in the soil.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they do that at other times of the year, but
Yeah.
they don't do that during the summer. They
No,
do that,
you're right.
like,
Yeah,
when
it's in the
summer's
spring.
over.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah. That's like the sign, like the next time they come back, they're coming back to like rake leaves. You know?
No, you're still gonna have to get your lawn mowed for at least another 2 months, probably.
Yeah, but like they're
As long as it
done,
rains.
like, which hasn't really happened much, but
I've had to
saying,
mow
like,
my
this-
lawn until like November. If the
yeah,
weather's
and I
nice
think
and
it's
it's
probably gonna
raining
be a
out,
really
yeah.
warm fall. But like I think that, but my point is more that is a sign that
I thought
that no
going
matter
back to
what, they
school
are
is
also going back to
the,
to take care of like leaves and fall stuff.
I love the fall. It's
and
my
fall.
favorite season of the entire year.
Me
My
too.
least favorite season.
What?
Tom, well, Tom.
Everything dies. That's what the fall is. Everything dies.
No,
Including
everything.
insects.
No, in the winter everything dies. In the fall everything
No, in
becomes
the winter
beautiful.
everything's dead. In the winter everything's dead and
You don't
frozen.
like
and
pumpkin
and the
stuff and like light jackets and hoodies,
Tom,
And
if living is dying,
football,
then I want to die all the time.
hot chocolate.
Yeah,
hot chocolate is the winter.
Mm,
yeah, you could have some hot chocolate in there.
You can have hot
Pumpkin
chocolate in the summer if you
beers.
want, but
Yeah, it's too hot for
to
the
me
summer.
that's a winter drink. The other stuff is fine. I don't I'm not crazy about pumpkin stuff. I like Halloween. There's things in the fall I like. It's not like the whole season's a wash. It's just my least favorite season because everything
You like
is
winter
green
better than
now.
you like fall?
Yes, I
Because
like
of
snow.
Christmas?
I like
Is
the
it
snow a lot. And
okay?
I don't mind being cold. I dislike getting cold, and that's what the fall is.
I love the fall weather. I love that cool weather where you
Yeah.
just like wear like a light jacket or a sweatshirt,
Yeah.
sit out in my backyard, light a fire, get the fire pit going. I love it. I love
There's positives.
I
Like
love the
I'm
air.
not like it.
The air is
I'm not.
amazing in the fall.
No,
I'm sorry. We're like,
No,
yeah,
it's
no, I
not.
we've been
disagree.
how long we've
No,
been
it
talking about
isn't.
this?
That's all right.
Well,
I'm not saying it's a bad season. I'm just saying it's my least favorite of the four.
okay. Tom thinks fall sucks. I hear you. Send your emails to podcast@talkaroundriyadh.com.
Attention, Tom.
All right, we do actually have some news to talk about, which is exciting. But before we get into the news, we need to do our new segment. Where's WOT Origins? I'm going to let the whole thing play.
That's jaunty.
This is an important segment. You can tell by the music.
And this kind of build up. I can't wait to hear what the update is.
All right. Welcome back to Where's WOT Origins? So, Jen, where is WOT Origins?
I don't know, Joe.
Tom?
We've been looking around. Cannot find it.
Tom, have you seen
I
WOT
know where
Origins?
I know where it's not, Joe. It's not on Amazon Prime yet.
All right. Well, there's our update from Where's WOT Origins. Thank you all. Now for the news. So we do have some news to talk about. Prime Video. This is great because they made a release that oh man, I wish I could find the specific thing now. Oh yeah, here it is. So there's a release on the Amazon Prime Studios or Prime Video, Amazon Studios, whatever they want to fucking call it, because it's annoying. On their website that they're going to be at Comic-Con, right? There's a lot of shows. They're going to have a lot of panels from their shows. But there's a thing here. There's a note in the article or in the release that says, "Note to editors: please refer to our streaming service as Prime Video and not Amazon Prime Video."
Wait, where did you see that?
It's on the press release. It's in the press release.
Hmm.
So there you go, people. When you're referring to Amazon, the Prime Video whole thing, don't call it Amazon Prime Video. Call it Prime Video.
Why?
From Amazon Studios. I don't know. That's what they want. You know how people are, these marketing people are with their branding. They're very anal about that. Very, very anal. It's like their livelihood. And they get very upset when you don't say the names that they came up with properly. Tom, you know this, right? Tom, how much? Tom knows this.
It's true.
From our job. People will correct you constantly. Marketing people will correct you constantly when you don't say the name of the company or the product line or something properly.
'Cause I guess it's
That's
Amazon
BS health.
Prime is Amazon, like the Prime service.
That's true. Amazon Prime is where I buy my presents.
Yeah,
Yes, Prime
Video.
Video. So
When I'm in a
Prime
rush.
Video. So let's start trying to remember to call it Prime Video from now on when we're talking to it. From Culver City, California, September 14th, 2022. Prime Video today announced its programming block and consumer experience for this year's New York Comic Con. The lineup will feature live, in-person panels from returning fan favorite series and highly anticipated new series, including The Legend of Vox Machina, if I pronounced that correctly, Good Omens, The Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, and The Peripheral. The panels will offer fans a chance to hear directly from some of their favorite Prime Video talent through moderated Q&As, as well as the opportunity to be among the first to see exclusive first looks and never-before-seen footage from a stellar lineup of Prime Video titles. The panels will also be live-streamed at the popverse.com and made available for VOD to digital ticket holders. So I'm going to read the little blurb here they have about the panel, the Wheel of Time panel. So they're doing like a dual panel, although it's 2 hours. So I'm assuming they'll spend an hour with one with one and then an hour with the other. I don't know why they have them set up like that. Maybe they're trying to get cross pollinate between the two different fandoms or two different fans.
So you stay there for 2 hours.
Yeah, they let the room. I think
Is that the case?
you
Or is it
can
like,
leave. I'm assuming you can leave whenever
Well,
you
you can
want.
leave, but I mean, you're not.
I know
I
you
think
can
once
leave,
I
but-
think the room fills up, and then it's not going to clear out after. They're not going to
Right,
like say,
that's what I
okay,
mean.
everybody leave and now come in
Yeah.
for the next one. It's just going to be like you sit there. You can't
Right.
like say, oh, I only want to go to the Lord of the Rings panel and show up an hour into it.
Right,
Because
okay.
all the seats
Yes,
are going to be
right.
full.
So if you want to go to Lord of the Rings panel, you have to show up for Wheel of Time panel.
Yes, that's what I'm.
No, you don't have to. Like, just show up an hour late so that you don't.
Oh,
Well,
yes,
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 yeah,
yes.
yeah, right, of course, right.
All right.
Sorry.
So this is the description is Prime Video presents a dream programming block for the fantasy fan when the Wheel of Time and the Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power, takes to New York Comic Con's Empire stage for back-to-back panels with series talent from each show. So for the Wheel of Time, following their season-long adventure that culminated in a showdown with the Dark One and the shocking reveal of the Dragon Reborn's identity. Were you both shocked about that reveal?
Absolutely shocked.
I guess I was shocked that they revealed it when they did.
Okay. The cast and creative team behind the Wheel of Time, so cast and creative team, will assemble in New York for their first in-person Comic-Con. Join series stars and showrunner Rafe Judkins as they reflect back on their season 1 journey, both on and off screen, as well as drop a few hints of what audiences can anticipate from the hotly anticipated season 2.
Is that what it says?
It does. They put anticipate
Ugh.
twice in that
That
sentence.
Proof me.
Can it-
Was
press
audiences
release.
it
can
hotly
anticipate
or hot?
I'm sorry. Let me reread that. As well as drop a few hints of what the audiences can anticipate from the hotly anticipated second season.
That's terrible.
So you guys excited for this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I am.
I think Jen was
really
more
excited.
excited until she heard how poorly edited the copy was.
yeah, I know.
You should
Um,
email. We should email them, Jen. We can email what's his face and tell him that his copy was crap.
From Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll love that.
No.
Like, I don't know who wrote this, guys, but literally there's 2 words in between the same word.
Let
You
me
need to
fix.
have
Yeah, let me fix
better
this for you
editors.
there.
Yeah.
Prime Video. So
Just email them a link to online thesaurus. And just like put it...
with to anticipated, like a link to the thesaurus page of anticipated.
Yeah. So
Other words that fit
nah.
Ugh.
So we live in New York,
we do.
right?
Yeah.
We should like go.
We are going, Tom. We got tickets.
Yeah, that's right. Great, good for us.
Going.
We're actually gonna be able to go and see it is in person. They confirmed it. Not like last year when we bought tickets and found out it was going to be a virtual panel. So I'm very excited to go see this in person.
Park outside the panel room for 4 hours.
Yeah.
I will show up 4 hours in advance and
Yes.
just sit, ignore what's
On the
else
floor.
is going on at
Yes.
the con, and just sit in front of the Empire room or the Empire stage for 4 hours until the panel starts, to ensure that we get there. Do you think we're going to get any clips or anything? They didn't say. They just said drop a few hints. They didn't say we're revealing. I remember at the other panels they actually mentioned that they were going to, show something or, or reveal something.
I don't want to think that they might and then let myself down.
But that's what we're all about here.
We are disappointment.
Yeah.
That's what our parents say. No, we I don't think they're gonna reveal any show footage, but I definitely think you're gonna get more casting announcements.
Maybe a release date.
And yeah, I think you got a decent chance at a release date.
They haven't even released a teaser yet. I don't think we get a release date until I don't know. You're right. I don't know, because with Rings of Power, they give you a release date so early.
Yeah, they might. Like, I feel like this feels like they're looking at this as a big opportunity. And I think Jen's right. And Joe, you were right earlier too, right? In kind of getting the fan base that is into their huge, super duper big name show, and bringing those people over into their other show, right? I think that they look at that like that. So I think if all they gave was stuff that would be really appealing to us, the fans of our show, like cool stories from the set and like interesting, fun things with the cast and crew, that's not enough to grab people who aren't already fans of the show. You go, oh, well, maybe I like this because the cast is engaging. Like they're gonna have to give you something more. I don't know what that would be, but I think, you know, I think either they can give us a release date, or they can say something like the first like official trailer is going to drop now, like, you know, whenever, like not at the thing necessarily, but like, you know, on October 31st or whatever it'll be.
You don't think we get a teaser possibly?
And now I'm thinking we might see some footage, because if I'm a person that's there to see a Rings of Power, like, you got to show me something from season 2 to make me interested in watching it.
That's true. That's a good point, Jen. If they're trying to cross pollinate and someone brings up, you know, Lord of the Rings fans show up and they're like, oh, what's this Wheel of Time? I've never seen it. You'd want to show some sort of footage. Yeah. That's a great point, Jen. And if now I feel like if Amazon doesn't do this, they're really, really missing out and don't know what they're doing with promotion.
Well, look, you know, I'll try and say this in a way that if anyone from Amazon happens to listen, they won't get upset. But I don't particularly understand many of the marketing decisions that they've made with the first season of the show. And I see no reason why I would suddenly start to understand the marketing decisions for season 2.
You don't think they maybe learn from their mistakes?
I don't know if they think that they were made mistakes. I think that we think they made mistakes, right? And for whatever it's worth, peons, right? Even though we felt like they didn't do what they could have done to market that show surpassed all of their expectations for viewership and engagement and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like, why would they think they did the wrong thing? Right. But I think that.
But we saw numbers, right? Didn't numbers like kind of drop off towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I think that, you know, well, whatever. I want to like beat a dead horse, but obviously there were some problems with the end of the season. No, I think it would definitely behoove them to take advantage of this opportunity. I know that if my opinion was asked, I would suggest that they do that. I just can't expect that they'll do something that they haven't done any other opportunity that they have, which is why I think it's more likely they'll give us some kind of like, here's when you're going to see the first like stuff, and then like maybe they'll reveal, like, you know, either reveal somebody that we already know is on the show but we don't know what part they're playing, or somebody completely new.
I saw a few people posting on Twitter, you know, hoping that Donald Finn was going to be there. Do you think there's a chance that they bring him in to be like, you know, hey, we've got our Matt, here he is?
I read something that said he was doing something else, like he was in a play or something.
Yes, somebody did post that, right?
Yeah, so he might not be there. Yeah. Probably won't be there.
Yeah, but you could always go like, I'm sorry, I'm contracted to this gigantic show. You're gonna have the understudy play the part for a day as I fly into New York, do this, and then fly back.
Yeah, I think he was gonna be in Boston, so it wasn't like he's that far.
Or whatever it is, you know.
Yeah.
Like, okay, he can do the matinee. I'll be back this afternoon. You know, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd like to, because I'd like to see it. You know,
I want a teaser. I don't need a trailer. Just like, give me a teaser, 20 seconds.
What if? Okay, now this is not anything that they're going to happen. I think is going to happen at all. But this is just to excite you guys. What if the footage is just the reveal of Lanfear?
No, I don't think I don't think we'll get anything. I don't even think the trailer will have Lanfear in it.
You don't think they're ever going to announce who's playing her? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, announce person X is playing this character.
Okay, an announcement. Right? I thought you meant like show footage of.
No, like that's the footage that they show. Just go, and now like we're gonna give
I
you one
don't.
casting announcement. Person X is playing, and then they reveal this character. Yeah, that's sort of a thing.
I don't know because if they kind of stick it true to the books, right? You want to first meet her and not know who she is, right? And be like, oh, who's this character? And
That's true.
and she goes by different names. So if you then introduce like, hey, this character's playing Lanfear, and people say, oh, who's Lanfear? Blah blah blah, and then they watch the show and they're like, oh, this is that actress, but they're saying she's saying her name is something different. Is this what's going on? It's like I feel like it's too revealing. I would think you'd want to keep something like that maybe close, like not announce it. Obviously, it can be released somewhere. I mean, and if we got our hands on it, it would be all over the place. But I don't know if that's something you would release
I
at a
know if
Comic-Con.
you got your hands on her. I mean, Matt Hatch, but I know if you got your hands on her, they'll be all over the place.
Yes.
I will say I understand where you're coming from, and they did do that with season 1. But I always think back what friend of the show Brendan Johnson says. If anyone cared and you looked up the character of Randall Thor, the first thing that pops up on Google is Randall Thor is the Dragon Reborn.
If you look up the
right?
Dragon Reborn, right, it says Randall Thor. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like, I don't know.
Still chose to play up the mystery.
Was
the shocking reveal? I was shocked.
Mira Sayal and Natasha O'Keefe announced at the last Comic-Con?
Yes, maybe this year they'll announce who they're playing.
A whole year later.
A whole year later. This is who they're playing.
That would be funny. That would be funny if it was literally just remember the last time we were here.
Yeah.
It'd be great if they showed the clip of them like him doing the announcements, and then that I would actually applaud that because that would just be kind of so funny.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't even mind. I'd be like that was great. I'll be like well played Prime Video.
Is there another person that they did announce though? Wasn't there a person that they announced the character for?
Was it Kira Coveney? Did they announce Kira Coveney?
Yeah.
Okay, I think they might have announced her as Elaine. So.
Yeah, I think they announced her as Elaine. Yeah, that's definitely. Rafe's talked about that. But I think they're definitely going to give you something. I mean, they gave us, right? They gave us Ayula Smart at JordanCon.
Yeah.
Right. Like they're not going to go into New York Comic Con, the second biggest con, like of the year, with nothing.
What if like Natasha O'Keefe and Mira Sayal are there?
Yeah.
Who's going to be there? Cool. You think just the regular main cast?
I imagine it depends on
Haley
people's
Mills,
schedules.
Baby. Haley Mills, oh my God.
Tom will
if Haley Mills is there, it's going to be like Colossus.
Tom's gonna be the guy yelling out, "I love you, Miss Bliss."
Miss Bliss.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we don't know who's going to be there. I imagine. I mean, if all of them, like the main 7, were there, I'd be surprised. All of them, I would say. But I mean, it's Comic-Con, so I mean, it's New York Comic-Con, so it's a big event. There's a ton of people who are going to be there, like big name people. It's not like
I know.
Who are you looking forward
Sebastian
to?
Sebastian Stan will be there.
Yeah, I feel like Henny is like the default, like he's the guy. Like,
well, he's American, so he'll be an American.
Well, not only that, but I feel like he's clearly like, okay, like whenever we need the cast to talk, like we gotta get Henny there. Like other people can come, like we can have.
I figure Henny. I figure him and Rosamund will be there, and then some of the other.
Rosamund, I could see being like, I'm filming a different movie right now, or something like that.
Is she?
I don't know the answer to that question right now.
Only there was a way to find
but
out.
I feel like, I hope she's there. I hope that you get, I hope you get a decent mix. I don't think you'll get everybody though. I don't think you're gonna have like that many people on a panel.
I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna get everybody either. I think especially like the cast is all over the place. But
think Sarah's gonna go?
I don't know.
Probably not. She's like writing right now. Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. I mean, we haven't heard it. They're not filming anything for season 3 yet. They're still writing as far as we know. I mean, we don't know the details. It's not like they've started filming. So, which is great because otherwise they probably wouldn't be doing this panel.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask the question of, do you think we'll get any information about WOT Origins at this panel?
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know what? They might actually just address like, hey, I know we said we're going to have it out, whenever, like it's actually going to come out. as soon as Lord of the Rings is done or whatever.
Mhm.
But
Maybe
we
a
just didn't want
Christmas.
it to interfere and blah blah blah.
Maybe it's a Christmas present.
Yeah. I was going to say, if anyone from the show is listening, we'll be there if you want to, come on our show.
Yeah, we'll
You're
just
welcome.
we can, even if we can just after the panel just have like a quick chat.
Yeah,
You know,
I put it out there.
even just a selfie at this point.
Yeah.
We'll have some free time. That's all.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So very excited about that on October 7th. So it just happens to be a Friday. It's kind of late in the afternoon, so we'll have to figure out how if we're going to be able to record that night or if we have to push it. We'll have fresh in our minds. We'll be able to talk about that panel and what
Yeah.
happened there, and hopefully we'll have some pictures and stuff we can post on social media if they allow it. But very excited for that. All right.
Yeah.
That is our news. So we are going to continue in the vein that we have been for the last few weeks and talk about some more season 2 character speculation. We've talked about Matt, we've talked about Perrin, we've talked about Egwene, we talked about Nynaeve. So now it's time to go back to the man himself, the Dragon Reborn, Rand al'Thor. These are getting interesting. I feel like we did the ones that, I mean, maybe except for Matt, we did the ones that are kind of easy and straightforward, or at least we think they are, compared to where we're going to get to some of these, like Rand, where I don't know what they're doing with him. So I'll do a season 1 recap, as is the tradition that I've set forth in the last couple of weeks. Does that count as tradition if you do it for a couple of weeks?
Sure.
Tradition.
Okay. So let's do
Tradition.
a season recap of Rand. So in the beginning of the show, he has sex with Egwene. He helps his dad kill a Trolloc. Him and Matt escape from Shadar Logoth on a tree. He meets Tom and Dana Darkfriend, who tries to kill them and escapes by smashing a door through. Escapes by smashing through a rather strong door. Stays on a farm where Fade kills the entire family and Tom. Goes to Tarvalon and sees Logain being paraded through the streets, meets up with the rest of the group, travels the ways where he learns he's the Dragon Reborn, or is his final convincing of him being the Dragon Reborn. Gets in an argument with Perrin about Egwene and Valdara. Has goodbye sex with Egwene, leaves with Moiraine for the Eye of the World, and then confronts Ishii in a battle of wills, then channels the One Power to scare him away or kill him. Did I miss anything there? Anything important? I forgot to mention his sweet Abercrombie and Fitch sweater.
He chops wood. Did you mention chopping wood?
Oh, he chops wood. He does chop wood. I forgot about that.
I think you got all the salient points. I really enjoyed your introductory line for the character.
Well, that's the first really interesting thing he does, right? Well, how would you start it off?
I don't know.
Travels to
I'd say
travels to
you did a
town.
good job.
Travels to
I'm
town.
not telling you any different.
I'm
Picks
open
his-
to feedback, and
Picks a strawberry for his
we want
girlfriend.
picks a strawberry and puts it in his pocket. Carries a strawberry in his pocket to his girlfriend. All right. So let's get into season 2. Right, we left off at the end of season 1, where his confrontation with the Shamael. He tells Moiraine to basically tell everyone that he's dead. He wants to leave because he's the Dragon Reborn, and that's what he's got to do because he doesn't want to be near anybody and accidentally hurt them or go crazy and kill them. Pretty similar, I think, to the books. And that's where we leave off, which is very different from how we leave off in the first book, where he's just kind of sitting in Valdara, then decides he wants to go, but then doesn't go. Right? Because he winds up going to hunt for the horn.
Right.
You try to go and all the gates are guarded.
Yeah. He also doesn't know. He doesn't know he's the Dragon Reborn in the Eye of the World.
Yes, he also doesn't. He's not. He thinks he's the Dragon Reborn. He's got a good chance, but he's not 100% convinced. I don't think.
He doesn't find out about that until.
Oh no, that's right. Yes,
he knows he can channel.
He knows he can channel because the Dragon Reborn is not even talked about until Moiraine says at the end The
Yeah, the
dragon
dragon is
is
reborn.
reborn.
Really?
Yes,
Yes.
there's no mention whatsoever to any of the Edmonds Fielders about the dragon reborn.
Yeah, they don't.
Very
Not,
different from the show, where
yes.
Wow.
Moraine says one of you is in the first episode. Moraine's like, one of
Yeah.
you is the dragon reborn. She
Yeah,
never says that, never brings it up at all in the books.
yeah. They talk about the dragon, and then at the end, she's like, "The dragon is reborn." You're like, "Oh, geez." Um, but yeah, and he finds out in like chapter 7 or 8 or whatever. So he just wants to leave in the beginning of the Great Hunt because he's a male. He knows he's a male channeler. He doesn't want to hurt anybody.
Yes.
So I think it's interesting because he thinks he's won, that it's over, and I guess he just wants to leave to like wander the earth like Cain and come.
Yeah, he doesn't want to
like,
hurt anybody because he knows the stigma with male channeling that you're going to go crazy, and you're going to be danger to anyone around you.
So, so I don't know what they're going to really do, like what Rand's storyline is going to be, and I feel like I would have a better feel on it if I didn't have that blurb of information that we got from that Amazon survey, which says that it starts off and he's in the metropolitan
Cosmopolitan.
I keep saying it, the cosmopolitan city of Falm, because that is bananas to me. Like, how does he get across the other side of the world, and why is he there, or whatever? But like, I don't know. Like, do you think? I mean, it looks like. I mean, how much of the Great Hunt versus how much of the Dragon Reborn is going to be in this? How crazy is Rand going to be in this season?
Oh,
Think about that, right?
Because, yeah, that's a great point.
Again,
like with the progression of his madness.
It's like his madness is so ramped up in the Dragon Reborn, and then dialed back like 1,000,000% by the Shadow Rising.
Well, there's the beginning of Shadow Rising where he tries to bring that girl back to life.
Yeah, but that's almost seems like he's mad while he's channeling the power, and he's like overcome with what Kalendor can do. Like, he's like making dead people bow to him in the Dragon Reborn. Spoilers, folks. People that he's killed, he like makes puppets them on their knees bowing to him.
Yeah, I mean that's go ahead, Jen, sorry.
I was gonna say I thought it was like that because that was supposed to be the last book, or like originally. So then when he knew he was going to do like 7 more books or whatever it is more, he dialed it back a little bit.
Yeah, and I forget the story 100% about when he got like approved for more books.
Mm-hmm.
But also I think that plays into the he goes off on him spot. I'm sorry, he goes off on his I can't speak.
Goes off on himself.
Take.
We've all done that before.
What?
He goes off by himself. He goes it alone, and I think that's part of the reason why he's also coming to terms with, the thought of being the Dragon Reborn. So he's kind of unstable, not necessarily because of the madness of the taint. It's more of like he's coming to terms with like I think I'm the Dragon Reborn, and I'm going on a mission to basically find out if it's true, and how am I going to handle that? Like, what am I going to do if I am the Dragon Reborn? It's like it's a lot of pressure, and he's going by himself, so he's dealing with it all by himself. There's no one there with him to kind of help him or guide him through it or to vent to, or So I think that's part of the reason as well. It's more of like him coming to terms with being the Dragon Reborn, or the possibility of it, rather than him being mad or the taint affecting him, because he hasn't really channeled much by this point, right?
I mean, I don't know how much, like, no, he hasn't really channeled that much. He channels a lot, like, accidentally in the Great Hunt, but he doesn't like do anything with it. He just like holds the power a lot,
Yeah.
Like when he sees the Jonan Kal and everything, and but he's channeling like crazy in the Great Hunt, like in the Dragon Reborn when you see him, right? Like he's using balefire and stuff.
Yeah.
He channels in the beginning before he leaves, right? And then Yeah, and then he
You
channels
don't see him
obviously.
much.
Well, I mean, the
There's
very
also
beginning
those,
of the book when he's
yeah.
right before he leaves, I think he channels right when they get attacked. He
Hmm.
channels
Wait,
obviously when he.
Dragon Reborn you talking about?
Yeah.
Or Great Hunt?
Yeah.
Doesn't he not isn't he like not able to channel when the Trollocs come? Something like that.
Oh, I don't. Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't
He
remember.
he
So
definitely channels while they're up there because he makes that whole like earthquake happen.
yeah, I thought
But I feel
okay.
like something where like the when Trollocs come, he can't
Yeah,
what's the
he
word?
still has no
Perform.
yeah.
It's good
Yeah, he has no
performance.
ability to control it, right? He has no
Yeah.
ability to like he still doesn't know what he's doing. But yeah, I guess like I don't think I think I think you may be right in that, Joe, and like why he's so super crazy in that book. And I think that they have to tone that down somewhat because like it works better when you're constantly going back and forth between like, well, is he just completely insane right now? Or is he like
Mhm.
sane and like he's so stressed out because of all the things that are happening to him? You
I
know,
was I
like
was thinking the opposite, where going to be compressed over a shorter, like a shorter amount of time because we're only going to get X amount of seasons, so they're going to have to start getting him going a little bit mad sooner.
yeah, I mean, but like he doesn't really. I think, with the exception of like this times you see him in the Dragon Reborn, he doesn't really start to seem crazy until Lord of Chaos, right?
Yeah, and,
Like
and I,
when he starts talking to Luz Theron,
yeah,
right? And I remember like when the books were originally coming out, like there would be all these debates online about like is Luz Theron real or is Red crazy? And like people would be like, "Oh, he's clearly real. He has all these knowledge and blah blah blah." And then like those same people every once in a while would be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe it just came to me. He's clearly insane." Like, and like having you not know, right? They've already seeded that. They're like, "Hey, hearing people is part of the taint, whatever,
mm,
blah blah blah." But like, then you're gonna be like, "Yeah, but you know that's Luz Theron because you've already met him. Like, that's a real person." And like it'll like having that go back and forth, I think will I don't know. I think that'll be fun with the audience, but that shouldn't happen until like
mhm.
season 4, really, to my mind, that he starts to like really like feel the effects of channeling that much.
It'll be interesting to see how they handle it, for sure. So I mean, I think you said it in the beginning. Like, do we think how much of the Great Hunt Ran do you think we're gonna get? Right? I mean, does anybody here? We've talked about this before. Think that he's gonna go on the hunt for the horn?
No.
No.
No, no.
Let's for those of you listening, they all everyone shook their head. No.
We said no. We all
No,
said
I
no.
know, I know. Um, so there are a couple of things though that like I think we all think though that at the end, right, we're gonna get him fighting Ishamael in Falma.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that part of the Great Hunt, right? We talked a little bit before about Lanfear. Do we think he's gonna meet Lanfear? Right? There are certain beats that we hit in the Great Hunt that that I think they might or should do in the season 2, and one of them is meeting Lanfear. Does he travel to a mirror world to meet Lanfear necessarily? No, he doesn't have to do that. But we think, right? Didn't Rafe say we're getting Lanfear this season? He confirmed that in the Q&A. I think one of his gin and
Yeah.
tonic Q&A, I believe.
Yeah. I think here's like the big question for me. Like, where does he meet Lanfear? Does he meet Lanfear? Right? I at all? And then where does he meet her? And how does her like what is her role in this season? Is it the kind of thing where like so we've seen footage and we see that there's clearly like at one point at least in the season that he meets up with Lana Moraine again,
Yeah, it seems to
right?
be.
So if that's something that we know is going to happen, I can see this being like he's with Lanfear for a few episodes, and then like she bugs out right before Lana Moraine show up,
Like in
and
the
like
Great
he
Hunt,
doesn't know.
basically.
Yeah,
When they go to
yeah,
Kyrian and she leaves.
right. Like I don't want to be around somebody who's like worldly enough to realize that something's weird is happening here.
Yeah. I agree with you there. I mean, I think we're gonna get Lanfear. I'm pretty sure we've confirmed that Lanfear is gonna be there, and I don't see if she doesn't interact with Rand, I don't see the point of even bringing her in. Like,
Right.
why would you do that?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, you could make it that they encounter her on the hunt, that Perrin and the Shannarans encounter her, but what's the point of that?
I'm with you.
How about you, Jen? How do you think they would introduce Lanfear, and would it be with Rand, or how does Rand interact with her?
Yeah, I think at some point he's gonna meet her just the same way if he's traveling alone. I don't know if it'll be the same kind of thing where he has to save her, but I think he's gonna come across her as Celine, kind of the same way, and then yeah, maybe like they get to Falma or to get to Carienne, wherever they end up, and she like pieces out on him, and that's when he ends up with Lana Moraine.
I want the amazing Lanfear dialogue when she's or Celine dialogue when she's telling him to like reach for the glory and the glory of the horn, and she's like totally like talking him up like this terrible dialogue.
It's really, yeah, not good. I don't want any
It's
of that.
like George Lucas type dialogue there.
Right.
Sand.
uh,
uh, um,
and I mean that I honestly, I mean, we were joking about the so again, that's the like, I do hope they tone down her like complete over the top megalomaniacal evil.
yeah.
Um but like she's gonna have to change what she's talking to him about because he's not hunting for the horn. He doesn't know about the horn. He doesn't know what the horn is, you know?
Yeah,
So
so
like
yeah, that's another great point. How do they introduce her? Is and what's the connection? Like how do they
it can
connect?
be it can be something, you know, where she stages a need for rescue, like Jen said. Doesn't have to be rescue me from this Grom or whatever, but I don't know. It could be it could be something where she is she paints herself. I'm just on the fly here with this. She paints herself as a refugee from the Shanshan and starts to tempt him with like, if you could protect your lands from these invaders, a great man like you, that sort of a thing, and like tries to pump him up to fight them. Think about it, man.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right?
So I'll throw this out there, right? We know Barthanes was cast, so we're all
Mhm.
assuming we're getting Kyrian, or there's thoughts that they could just move Barthanes to Palm or whatever. That something changes. So do we get? Let's just assume that we are going to get Kyrian because I like Kyrian. And Barthanes is there. They could do some sort of interaction with Rand and Celine there. Barthanes is a dark friend. Spoiler alert. Maybe she's there at the party or at Barthanes' manor or something, working with Barthanes, or he's working for her, and she kind of lures him, or either meets him at a party at Barthanes' manor, or like meets him in Kyrian and kind of lures him to the party. But I still don't know, like, yeah, where that connection comes in. Like, there's no horn to connect them. I don't know.
What do you mean the connection of him even being here?
No, him and her, like in the books, right? It's
Oh,
Well, she's trapped in the mirror world or whatever, and he rescues her, and then the whole thing is like the horn, right? She's like, oh, yeah, we got to go for the horn. Yeah, go for the horn. It's glory, power, blah 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 blah. It's like something that kind of connects them.
Well, it's like it's that's what she's using to try and like a real man would like, a man who would be worthy of me, kind of thing. She's trying to tempt him with glory and like, but I think you could do that in other ways. And I think if you're gonna have her in there, like you need time with the two of them where I don't know, she can feel like she's working her feminine wiles on him, and
Mhm.
whether it's successful or not, whatever. That's, I guess, how the show decides to take it. But like, and that's why the more I'm thinking about it, the more I think like something like that would work. Like if he, especially if it is for whatever reason they're starting and he's in farm, and he books it, you know, when the invasion starts. If she's like, if she says like, I fled from them, I was their captive, then she could be a noble instead of a noble from Carrion. She could be a noble from somewhere else that he's never been to or whatever.
Mhm.
The difference. Um, you know, but if she's goading him to like go back and help like rescue people or save people or do things for glory and like, you know, turn out the invaders and they'll put you in charge of that place, something like that. Um, like I think that serves a similar function.
Okay. Um, I'm gonna jump around here and kind of jump towards the end, just because I want to ask this question to the both of you. Where do you want Rand to be at the end of season two? And I don't mean physically, like what location. I mean, I guess location is part of it, but like, I think we all know he's going to be a Falma, but this obviously, we have theories that he could go to Tyr at the end, but whatever. But more in like his story arc or in his journey. Where do you want him to be at the end of season two? We talked about his state of mind. We talked about locations, characters he's met already, and things like that. Using the one power. In relation to all of those things, or maybe one or two, your choice. Pick one or two, or all. Where do you want Rand to be at the end of season two? What kind of like? How do you want to feel at the end of season two about Rand?
I mean, I'd like to feel good about him being the Dragon Reborn and feel like he actually has a fight as the Dragon Reborn and we see him win rather than just like channeling into a statue and nothing happening that we could see. I'd like to feel comfortable and secure that he is our Dragon Reborn.
The Dragon Reborn we know and love.
Yes.
Ooh, that you brought up something, right? The statue, right? That's the little Tirangriel that Moraine.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. Like, did they reconcile? Like, did he take that? Does he take that with him? Does he give it back to her?
Did it break?
I
Why do I
don't.
think that it broke?
I don't remember
Maybe I
now.
could be making that up. I don't remember. Well, she
Yeah, I
can't
don't know.
use it. So why would he give it
But
back
he
to
might
her?
say, I don't want this because I don't want to channel anymore.
I don't know. I don't
Or he could
remember.
throw it away. How about you, Tom? Where do you want Rand to be at the end of season two?
I want
Emotionally,
Rand.
physically, spiritually,
You said not
metaphorically.
physically.
I said you could throw in physically.
Yeah,
You want.
I would say this. I think his character. I think it should be kind of basic. His character should be in the place that he's in at the end of book 3, where the world knows that he ran out. Like, so you have the end of book 2, where like the story of Falm's passing around the world, but you also have the end of book 3, where like not only is the world now know that the dragon is reborn, right, and like whatever he's had a fight, but you have a group of people who are chanting his name as the dragon, like a fanatical group of maniac warriors who are just chanting his name.
I feel like at
Um,
the end of book two, though, it's not clear, or it's not. The world doesn't say he's the Dragon Reborn. They
they
just
don't
know
know
like
who he
he
is.
can
They,
channel. There's some guy who can channel. We don't know if he's the dragon, but there's a powerful channeler, and he had a fight over this guy.
well, the story gets. I think that's exactly what they say. Like, the story is told like a million different ways,
Yeah, I feel like
but
book
there's
three
just
is like he pulled Kalendor. Everybody now
right.
it's like it's confirmed. He's pulled
Well,
Kalendor, which everybody knows is only the Dragon Reborn can do that.
and at the end of book 3, they chant Al Thor dragon, right? Like, it's
Yeah,
like it's him. Like
yeah,
that's like book 2. There's pictures of him being spread around the world, but like he's still nameless, right?
yeah.
In book 3, everyone knows that Rand Al Thor is the Dragon Reborn, and I think that's what you end this series on. Is that that might be involved instead of Tyr. Calendar may not be involved,
How do you
but everyone
validate it
knows
then? So then, how do they validate him being the Dragon
you can
Reborn?
still validate it with the people of the dragon, like come to rescue him, or you have a prophecy about the horn or whatever. Like if the heroes from the horn, like heroes of legend, come out of the mists and go, "You, Althor, you're Leos Theron, you are reborn," and like then like a bunch of like an army of Aiel show up out of nowhere and they go, "You are the Dragon Reborn." And, like that's all you need, and then you could start the next season with like him like dealing with the political ramifications of that and going, well, that's all well and good, but I gotta bug out and go to the waste. And like
So the val. So maybe. So let me propose this then. So then, does Rand blow the horn, and that's like the validating.
no, you can't do that. I think you Matt doesn't have a thing like for the first really Matt doesn't have a thing if Matt is not the guy who blows the horn.
The horn
That's what
sounder.
keeps him on the hook in his mind for the whole series.
That's what keeps him on the hook
It
with the
doesn't
Aes Sedai for sure.
and with himself. He feels like I know like I'm stuck. He thinks he's stuck.
Mm-hmm.
That he has no way out because he knows he has to blow the horn at the last battle
Mm-hmm.
because it's tied to him, right? And like I think that is I don't know. I feel like that's like a subconscious motivating factor for him, right? Um, Even though spoiler alert, he doesn't, and he doesn't need to, and like that gets wiped out before the series is halfway done. But
There's some good like thoughts in Discord that I kind of want to get to because
sure,
there's one of them that I wanted to talk about. I'll bring it up just quickly. Is do we just a quick yay or nay? Do we get Rand practicing with the sword?
I think yes.
Who
Especially
teaches
because he's
him
starting it out by himself.
by himself? You think he just practices by himself in the beginning and then
Yeah.
does he defeat a blade master at the end of the season?
Yes.
Who trains him though? Like he just trains himself, is self-taught. He watches some YouTube videos and then defeats a blade master.
I mean, I guess.
well, he's
He
gonna be
trains with
traveling
Lan when they get back together.
yeah, you got
Okay.
Lan.
Okay. Um. Uh. Oh, try and fail to channel reliably. So do we get in situations where this is Rao putting this in our Discord? Do we get situations where Rand intends to channel? He says, "Oh, I need to channel to do something," and then fails. Do we? So I think what, at least how I'm interpreting this comment is, right? Are we going to get to a point where, or is it going to be established that Rand can't really learn to channel on his own? It's not. It's not just not going to happen. He needs somebody to train him. So do we start setting that up in this season where he tries to channel and he fails, or he does try to channel and he succeeds, but it doesn't. What he wants to happen doesn't happen, and it's getting dangerous that he can channel, but he's got no one to train him. Do you think they start setting that up in this season?
Yes, I think they do. I think you have Lanfear there in part to kind of give him that message directly, even though she'll be doing it indirectly.
Mm.
And I think wasn't one of the eight Forsaken statues a guy with a guitar?
Yeah.
Right. So like that's the only reason to have Asmodean in the show. So I think you set that up that maybe he tries to channel a light of fire and he can't, or maybe he tries to channel a light of fire and he lights a tree on fire and like they have to run away, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like it's not only he can't channel, but like when he does channel, he can't control it. And so like if
and he's getting sick, right? Are we gonna get that channeling sickness? Like he's getting sick because he's doesn't know how to channel, so when he does try, it's causing him.
I don't know. That's kind of pointless. That's just. I feel like the only reason they describe that, they have that in there, is so that clever readers can find out clues that Rand's channeling.
But no, they talk about how like if you're not trained, you can die, and it's not like you're gonna die because you miss you try to channel and you screw it up and you accidentally kill yourself. They talk about like how you're literally if you don't learn how to channel properly, you're literally can like your body can deteriorate and die.
Yeah, but like, there's no payoff for that ever.
Well, no, because
And
he
like,
learns how to channel, so it
yeah,
doesn't
but I'm saying
happen.
like you can just say like he needs to learn how to channel because he can't just be wandering around hoping he channels the right way. Like you don't need to have like a and they'll also die part. It's
Mm,
just important that if he needs to channel, someone teaches him how to do it, and
mm.
there's no one else alive who can. Like you don't need the other piece, right? Nobody ever dies of channeling sickness in the books, or even comes close to it.
Oh, there are
Like,
channelers who die, like the male channelers who die in the book. You just don't. You're not there for it. Like, there's I think people in the Black Tower early on who die. And they talk about like, male. There's like stories about, oh yeah, my brother could channel and he died.
right, but it's like that again. Like I feel like it's just
It wasn't like
I don't know.
like an accidental, like he accidentally sliced his head off with the power. It's more like he you know he became sick and ill because he didn't know how to use the power correctly, and it almost like getting a disease and dying.
Right. No, I mean I understand. I just don't think I don't know. I think it's not as necessary as I don't think I feel like it's they have other neater um plot reasons for him to need to learn how to channel
Mm-hmm.
that people won't be going like why did they talk about this and then like it wasn't important. Like that's the stuff I don't like setting up a Chekhov's gun and then never using it, and that's what channeling sickness is to me.
I don't know if it's.
Like
I
there's
don't
not a
think it's a
girl who
Chekhov gun.
gets
I
it, there's
think
not a
it's.
guy who gets it, that
I
is a character in the books.
I think it's. I think the Chekhov's gun for that is he needs Asmodean to train him, so
Yeah,
he
but
doesn't.
he also needs his motive to train because he doesn't know how to channel, and he needs to know how to channel because he has to fight other Forsaken.
You can
Like,
make it that he figure. You can easily have made it that he figures it out by himself, or his memories from the dragon memories from Lews Therin. I mean, he does that does happen in the book where he literally starts doing weaves that he never knew how to do before because they're from Lews Therin's memories.
yeah, no, it's true. I understand, but I feel like this is my thought on the channeling sickness is that it's an extra thing that is not needed to explain why the things in the story happen and doesn't do anything. Like it doesn't have a part to play. So like when you're talking about what can we cut, you can cut that. And it changes nothing. And like then why put it in?
What about you, Jen? What are your thoughts on this?
I don't know.
Well, you've got the thought
Um,
of is the channeling sickness important enough to the story that they put it in? Or do they just go with, well, like, he can't learn to channel by himself, so he needs someone to teach him?
I mean, they had the chat. Nobody died of it, but they had. He got like sick from channeling in the book.
People died of it. It just was
Oh, they
never like
did.
a big thing. Yeah,
Oh,
they
not a big
talk about,
character.
people mention, that my brother could channel and he
Oh yeah, yeah,
died.
yeah.
And,
Okay,
or
okay.
I think one or two
I think.
people at the Black Tower early on
Okay.
die of it. But I mean, that's the whole thing where like we got to get somebody to train you because you're gonna die if that doesn't happen.
Yeah. I don't know. Why you could also just say like you're not going to be good enough without having somebody to train you. You don't really need the channeling sickness for
Mm.
that. You could just say like you need somebody who can teach you more weaves than people, like that anybody even today knows if there's a male channeler out there.
Okay, so I
And
see it.
two to
You
one.
agree with
We
Tom.
win.
We don't need to hear any more from you then.
No.
Um,
Okay, great.
Look, Jen's in her new Empire video audio recording booth today.
I put the red lights on for Rand. I thought it was good.
Oh.
Red Rand,
Red Rand.
red and gold. Are we gonna get Rand wearing fancy noble clothes this season?
Maybe.
Yeah.
If somebody buys him something,
Oh,
gives him some clothes.
ooh,
What?
ooh! Do we get
Mr. Connor?
the dragon banner?
Where would it come
Yeah,
from?
The Shanshan. That'll be what they have.
It's under the throne. They have to hammer. They have
The
It's under
to.
their
Sean have
throne.
everything
They have to
now.
smash the
I don't
ground
think they'll
under
have
the
the
throne and
calendar. I'm
fall
gonna
off.
say like let's switch it to that.
Just put it. We'll be watching it and be like, oh, they're breaking underneath the throne. Is it gonna be Kalendor? No, it's the dragon banner.
Um,
Does somebody just make him a
they
banner?
wouldn't really have the dragon better. It'd make a lot of sense. Um,
I can see you're right. I can see the Shanshan carrying the dragon banner with them. I don't know why they would do that, but maybe I don't see it.
it could be
Doesn't
something where
Turok collect things?
He does. He has a seal. Maybe the Aiel bring the dragon banner.
oh, maybe they have it. That's cool. Or
Right,
maybe
'cause they're the
maybe
people of the
the
dragon.
heroes have it. Maybe the heroes have it, and
They give it to him.
and then people are like, oh, I guess that's the dragon's signal, and they make more.
Oh, that's the validating event, right? The heroes come. Matt blows the horn. The heroes come back. They have the banner and they give it to Rand.
But how
Yeah.
can they give him the banner?
Well, they're
Mm.
around killing people. I guess they can touch them while they're there. They're not like ghosts.
Yeah, but where do they get it
insubstantial.
from?
They bring it with them out of Teleron Riyadh. Who
No.
cares
Yeah.
where do they get it from?
That doesn't work. I don't like it.
Arthur Hawkwing smuggles this dragon banner up his ass
No.
for 2,000 years.
Christopher Walken plays Arthur Hawkwing,
Arthur
and he
Hawkwing.
goes into the whole story with Rand about I held this banner up my ass for 1,000 years, or 2,000 years, for 2,000 years, right? He's 2,000 years ago, right? Oh no, it is 1,000 years.
It's thousands, yeah. Now I give it to you.
He just pulls out. It's like a magic trick, when they pull the handkerchiefs out of their mouth. He's just pulling this huge banner out of his ass.
I love it. I love it.
No.
Oh gosh, Eagle Eye, open up your eye patch.
Uh,
He pulls it out.
Amazon. I'm sorry. Prime Video.
Prime Video.
We've got such great ideas for you. Call us. So even though we said at the beginning, there's not going to be much of things that happen to Rand from the Great Hunt in this. We just talk literally about all stuff from the Great Hunt that could be in the show. There's nothing in the Dragon Reborn that happens, right?
Yeah,
There's like three things, right? Go
yeah,
ahead,
I
Luke.
was thinking this whole thing was going to be the Great Hunt, mostly the Great Hunt for Rand.
Yeah, that's the way I picture. I picture that most of season 2 is going to be the Great Hunt with just Matt's Dragon Reborns. Matt's gonna be the only person who's gonna be pulling a lot of stuff from the Dragon Reborn on there. I think that the only thing I'll say that they might do for Rand from the Dragon Reborn is that maybe you have Moraine and Lan follow him and explain to the audience finally after a season what a Taviran is. And that's how we found him. Because everywhere he went, all this weird shit happened.
Yeah,
We're getting
that's what
married
we
and
have in the Dragon Reborn.
Fell out of windows and we're okay or whatever,
Yeah, so I mean, there's only a couple of things that happen, right? So the one thing I think that they're kind of mimicking, right, is Rand leaving, right? In the Great Hunt, he never actually leaves, but in the Dragon Reborn, he leaves because he doesn't want to be near anybody or hurt them or whatever. I feel like more in the Dragon Reborn, he really leaves because he wants to kind of find out if he's really the Dragon Reborn. There's also something else I didn't even mention is that part of the reason why he leaves in the Dragon Reborn is that Bilal is messing with everybody's dreams and projecting this Kalendor and the Stone Tear on everybody's dreams. So, do we get? I mean, obviously, we don't. None of us here think Bilal's going to be in the show, right?
No.
So do we get is Shamael projecting? Is Shamael why does Rand go to if he goes to Falm? Why does he go to Falm? Is it like it's the farthest away? But I mean, in the book terms, it would take him 5 months to get to Falm if he was going all the way from Faldara. Realistically, unless they do a giant time jump, which I don't see how they do that with the hunt for the Horn going on. You can't just jump 5 months. Perrin and the Shanshan have been hunting for 5 months for the Horn. I mean, I guess you could maybe do a month. But I mean, we think there's Bail Doman's in it. Maybe Rand takes a boat and he gets there quicker. I don't know how they work that out. And I already forgot what I was getting at. I forgot my point. God damn it.
Doing a time jump.
No, what did I start? I started
Oh,
talking about Rand. Oh, the reason why Rand leaves, right? Because in the Dragon Reborn, he leaves to kind of go get that validation to prove if he really is the
Right.
Dragon Reborn, to
So
finally
you think
understand it.
Ishii sending him dreams
That's what
come
I
to
was.
follow?
Yes, thank you, thank you, Tom. That's where I started. Is Ishamael going to be sending kind of like, you know, dreams to Rand to kind of lure him to Falma or wherever they want to go, wherever he wants him to go? I mean, he does it in the first season. We got to kind of get this already. I mean, we don't get the Eye of the World. We should have gotten him luring him to the Eye of the World in the first season, but that's not really what lured him there. But do we get that? Do we get Ishii messing with Rand's dreams?
If you get that, like he starts the season and he thinks he's won, and then he's having dreams and the Dark One's still alive, you know, and that's what drives him forward.
I wouldn't be dreams, I think, of the Shamael or the Dark One. I think it would be dreams of something that he needs to go check out or see or do or witness. Like, I don't think he would put himself in there. Because just from the show's perspective, like, you wouldn't want people to know he's alive right away. You'd want Rand's getting lured to this location.
I want people to know he's alive before the credits roll. I want the show to open with the Dark Friend social.
Oh, that's right. We did talk about that. And he's
Yeah,
alive. And
so
it's
I want to
him.
be crystal clear. Like I don't. Maybe you're right that you don't want them to know, but I want us to know immediately.
do you think anybody thinks
Well,
that
we
he's
already
not
know.
alive?
Like
Like,
fans who haven't read the books, you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing in the show if you don't know that indicates that he's not dead.
Well,
Like,
I think fans. Oh, I shouldn't say fans. I think viewers realize that he's not. There's no way he's the Dark One.
yes, I think that's what people like. Well, but first of all, uh, there is a large portion of just people who watch entertainment and take everything at surface value. Exactly what people say, that's what they believe is true.
I do that a
Right.
lot with TV and
Right.
movies.
So, like, if they go, we killed him, he's the Dark One, and I killed him, then there's a significant portion of people who are like, oh, I guess he killed the Dark One. I wonder what season 2 is going to be about.
Did they not equate the Dark One enough to like the devil in the show? Where
No,
like,
I don't think they actually did.
but if you watch the TV show, right? You've never seen. It doesn't matter if it was based off of previous IP or anything like that. And there's like in the show, it's like, oh, the Dark One's coming, and we gotta, the dragon's gotta stand and fight him. And then at the end of the season, the main character fights somebody who's not. No one says he's the Dark One. You can't. People are just kind of assuming he's the Dark One. Would you be like, oh, this guy just killed the devil. I wonder what they're gonna do in season 2. Like, wouldn't you be like, wait, if they killed the devil's supposed to be like the ultimate evil. Like, I wouldn't be like. I was like, I would think again, even taking it as what being one of those people who takes these things at face value, I'd be like, oh, either that's not the devil or the devil ain't dead.
I think there's people who would think that, but I also think that they go, this is this battle that he has to do. He does it, and then the season ends with an invading army, and people go, oh, maybe like you thought this show was going to be about like this battle of good and evil, but it's really going to be like Game of Thrones, where there's going to be a bunch of armies fighting each other,
Yeah,
like for the rest of this season.
I don't
Like,
know. I feel like
I'm
that's
just saying that.
weak if they did that.
Look, man, I don't. I'm not. I obviously don't think it. I know it's
Yeah.
going to happen, but like, I can see people saying, "Oh yeah, I guess they killed that guy." Like, I think that there's enough hints if you pay attention. Like, he's smiling when he dissolves, like that.
Yeah.
He's probably not happy that he's dying, so maybe something else is going on here.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I don't know. But it doesn't make a difference because I want them to tell you immediately in the beginning of season 2 that he's not dead.
They don't have to. They can still do the Dark Friend social without it being clear that that's
But like that's
Shamael.
the cool part of the Dark Friend Socials, because you think he killed him at the end of the first book, and then it starts off and you're like, he's not dead, he's still alive.
That's true. I'm not dead yet. Yeah,
Right?
I
But
guess
if
so.
you see him there and he's all frigged up from what Rand did to him, but he's still alive.
So they can still do it the way I was talking about, where the audience knows that he's not
Right.
dead, but the dreams that Rand's having, he's not in them because, Shamael wants to be a little sneaky and lure him there, and then surprise him. That, hey, motherfuckers, I'm still alive.
I hope that's what he does.
Or like he does like a UHF where he comes out of the supply closet and
Supplies.
says, supplies.
Oh my god.
By the way, speaking of UHF, Daniel Radcliffe and Weird Al Yankovic are going to be at Comic-Con about the new.
Yeah.
The
I hope
Weird
it's
Al.
not at the same time.
They are. Daniel Radcliffe's playing Weird Al Yankovic in like a.
No,
like
at the same time as
Wheel
the
of
thing
Time.
that we're going to go.
Oh no! I think it's Sunday their thing. We don't even have tickets for that day.
Yeah, that's one of the most highly anticipated films of the next year for me.
Did
is
you see the
watching
trailer?
Weird
Did
BL,
you see the trailer for that?
Yes, I did.
You anticipating the most highly anticipated show?
It's very much anticipated by me.
Yes, Did you see the trailer for it, Jen? It's
Yeah.
like a fake. It's almost like a mock biography of him.
You think?
Yeah, it's
Are you kidding? He's like sleeping with Madonna in the trailer. It's like
That didn't really happen? I thought maybe that really happened.
No. I don't think he's even met Madonna in real life. It's all like
know.
it's like a lot. It's mostly made up.
yes. Yeah, he's also like, isn't he like smoking cigarettes and like putting them out on like people's desks and whatnot?
I think
It's like he's
I think he puts a cigarette out on somebody's
arm.
Somebody's
I just
arm.
thought I
like,
didn't
yeah.
know the real Weird Al.
No, it's mostly just fake. It's purposely done that way.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, I think when you see him and Madonna hanging out, and then I think he sleeps with her in the trailer.
Yeah,
like,
I just thought
this isn't real.
I missed something about the 80s. I was young back then.
It's true.
One last question. I know we've talked about this. No, I'm not even going to ask it. We've talked about it too much.
Ha!
Anything else that you guys wanted to bring up about Rand for possibly happening in season 2? It sounds like he's just like, nah, he's not going to talk about that.
Is he going? We talked about this a little bit too, and this may be the same thing. Is he going to get branded by the herons on his hands?
Oh, yes, that is something I wanted to mention, and I forgot about it.
No. We already talked about this.
How?
I
How
say
can
no.
he do it? The heron's on the sword itself.
He's not going to
Rip.
do it. It's not happening.
Rip. All right.
Sorry.
We're not going to get the whole once the heron, twice the heron, once the dragon, twice the dragon.
You can get once the dragon, but not once the heron.
No herons at all?
No, not even one heron.
All right, no herons here.
All right, fine.
Fine, no herons. Nobody gets a heron.
Why is he in the crib?
That's
Not a crib.
He's going in a crib because he's acting like a baby. That's why. Nynaeve sends him to the crib because he's being a baby.
Okay.
Oh,
No, I don't
I'll
know.
ask this question because someone actually mentioned it in chat before. Does Rand end the season or have a scene at the end of the season where he's unconscious in Min's lap and Lanfear is talking to her? That's how like the Great Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Right.
so.
And is Avienda there?
Let's do this. Let's have all 3 girls in the tent and Rand's lying across all of their laps.
No.
And Celine Lanfear comes in.
Well, Lanfear doesn't know who Avienda is. I hope that's good that she doesn't know who she is until
Yes.
she finds out. At the end.
I don't know. I don't know if we get a Rand and Min's lap scene to later set up the Min and Rand's lap scenes.
Well, I guess right.
No, wrong.
Okay. All right.
I don't know. Portal Stones, Portal Stone Worlds.
No.
Nope.
No. 5 ride forth.
No, unless they change the 5.
Yes, I'm going to say yes to that. I hope somehow, even though Rand won't know who Ingtar is and have no relationship with him,
Who's the 5th? Because we're not getting Huron, right? Isn't Huron the 5th in the book?
loyal.
Uno.
Is it? Oh,
Oh.
Loyal, Uno, Loyal,
There's options.
Elias. Elias. Maybe
He's
Elias gets
already
killed.
Elias is already dead.
No.
Maybe Elias gets killed in Falma by the White Cloaks.
No, I think Elias is going to die in that Trolloc White Cloak battle.
Massima.
Definitely not Massimo.
No. All right.
But yeah,
I like Loyal.
just-
I like Loyal. We see
Yeah.
him there, right? We see him in the BTS footage. He's there.
Yeah, and I always felt like Loyal got dogged at the end of that book. Like, why the fuck is Huron one of the like? It should be Loyal. Like,
That's a good point. I guess that doesn't make sense. You're right.
so,
I like it. I like the change. Book it Prime Video.
Yeah, I've talked about this. I think I don't remember when. Probably when we did an Inktar episode. But like, Rand forgiving Ingtar and absolving him of sin.
Oh
basically,
yeah, we
before he
forgot
goes off
about
to
that
die,
part.
Is the last purely good thing that Rand does in the books until he becomes Zen Rand at the end. It's like the most it's the most Jesus-y thing he does until he starts like making food appear out of nowhere at the end of the series, right? Like it's such a great like it's such a great like this is who this guy is fundamentally.
Mm-hmm.
He's somebody who sees good in people and like fosters that. And like that's what you want him to constantly go back to. And like and that gives you hope. Like I think that like, you know, like Rand doesn't like, you know, like dark friends are still humans and like you can be forgiven for like the bad things that you do.
Mm-hmm.
And that happens hopefully later on in the series as well.
What's
right?
the old saying, right? There's no one's so far gone that it can't be brought back to the light or something like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Something to that effect.
Right. And I mean right, so it kind of it does in some way mirror the, again, spoilers, sorry folks, the Egwene Varen thing at the end of the series.
Oh, I just got to that chapter in the Gathering Storm. Oh my God, the Gathering Storm is such a good book. So much good stuff happens in that book.
Yeah.
It's just like nonstop awesome stuff. Like I like this going back and like doing my reread. I don't remember the last book where so much great stuff happened, where like everything that was going on was exciting. It's been a while.
That's how I felt when Knife of Dreams came out. So that's why it's one of my favorite books. I felt like Knife of Dreams.
Even Knife of Dreams, though, like it's still slow.
There's still parts that are slow. It does pick up tremendously as
it
that
does,
book goes on.
but yeah, I feel like the Gathering Storm is like it's just. I mean, except when you get to there's a few parts where it's a little slow and like, but it's. I was like, oh my God, there's so many big things that happen. And I just got I literally got to the end of that chapter where Varen says you're wearing a green dress, and I was like, oh yes, awesome. Any last thoughts on Rand and season 2 before we wrap this up?
No.
Okay.
No.
I want to remind everyone to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Join us over in Discord to continue the conversation there. Rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and check out our merchandise and Patreon pages to support us that way. Links to all the aforementioned information is included in the show notes to this episode. Remember that if you'd like, you can also watch this episode on YouTube. We'll put a link to our YouTube page as well in the notes. And then next week, we are having our third anniversary live stream. We'll be live streaming on YouTube next week on the, oh God, what's the date? See how prepared I am. The 23rd of
23rd.
September. Oh, that's actually a couple of days after my anniversary.
Yeah.
My wedding anniversary. So we've actually passed our podcast anniversary. But, due to scheduling and things like that, we couldn't really do a live stream. So we're doing it then. Come join us and hang out. We're going to announce a giveaway. We might do giveaways if I can get that set up and figure out how to do that. But we're going to announce a giveaway starting that day that'll run into October. And you're not going to want to miss a chance to enter this giveaway because what we're going to be giving away is pretty fucking awesome.
It's true.
So awesome that, I don't know, you guys know what it is.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're right. It is awesome. And people are going to want to enter for it.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be an exciting time.
Yeah, we're going to reminisce about the last year and what, fun episodes and things, guests we had on and things like that. So we'll be talking about our last year of podcasting and, looking back on that and just having a good time. So come hang out with us. You'll see more about that. Follow us on social media and all that stuff. As I mentioned before, we'll be posting there more information about that. So yeah, check that out. Any last words or anything that I forgot? Anything you guys want to mention?
Congratulations, Alex.
Congratulations, brother Alex, on your nuptials.
Is it Friday or Saturday?
Saturday.
That is my anniversary, my 11th anniversary. It's a good date, Alex. So
okay, good.
Congratulations to Alex and happy anniversary.
11. That was 11 years ago. Oh my God.
Twas 11 years ago. Yeah, by the time this is released, your brother will be married.
Yep.
And you'll have another sister-in-law.
Yes, I will.
All right. Thanks everyone for listening, and you'll hear us next time.